Us talking about this, man. All the theatricality. Now Spence's eye is good now. He can fight whoever, Tim Tszyu, Sebastian for or Fundora winner. He's back now. When before you guys were over here talking about that's a clone, that's not even Errol Spence. He was damaged goods. Bud waited for him to get old. All your guys' excuses. Look at you dudes today. You're celebrating, aren't you? You're celebrating cowardice. Just like I told you guys yesterday in my video. Nothing new in this sport. Nothing new at all. So I guess you guys are back, just like your dude Errol Spence. I didn't really care to watch the fights tonight. I don't need to watch them. The highlights will be out later. For what I could sell, though, and what I could see, Fundora seems to be using his height more, things like that. He's going to need to. Hey, what's up? This isn't like a real live. I'm just doing a little reaction video and a little I told you so. I'm probably not going to be on here too long, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving my reaction. But anyhow, he's using his height more, things like that. If they are going to make the Spence versus Sebastian Fundora fight, I've talked about this in past videos. They both got similar styles. I think Fundora is a more effective fighter when it comes to damaging his opponents. Spence, again, he throws a lot of volume, a lot of non-impactful punches, but I don't think he's going to win. But here's the thing with PBC, it's all theater, and I've been telling you guys this stuff. Sometimes these dudes look like they got silent agreements when they go out there and fight, i.e. Mickey Garcia versus Spence. You understand? Is Sebastian Fundora going to lay down? These guys seem that they really take orders. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can see Sebastian Formella. Hey, what's up, everyone? This wasn't really a real live. I just decided to do like a reaction video, give my little 2 cents on the whole situation and everything. But I see some people jumping on, so I was just talking about, that here we go again. Here we got the Spence fans, we got the PBC fans. They're the Walking Dead, bro. You give them an opportunity. Yeah, well, you know why, and I talked about this in my last video. You know exactly why. It's coming full circle. You had to implement the theatricality, drum up the shock value and drama. Spence is injured. He has to pull out of a rematch. But basically, he's getting this opportunity because now he is listening to Al Heyman. Duck out of this rematch. We'll say that you were injured again. We'll show the media and Instagram and everybody the same picture when you injured your eye the first time. Do what we tell you this time and we'll reward you. And that's just how those fighters, they work at PBC. You know what I'm saying? It's a clown show over there. And like I said, this stuff doesn't even lead to profit or anything. So they're doing all this plotting and scheming for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You're in your 10th home. Hey, what's up, bro? What's going on? You been busy? You're still doing the boxing? I've been saying this, man. This is just the way the world is today, man. These guys I was talking about in that video yesterday, they praise cowardice and they praise this effeminate type backstabbing behavior. And it's no different today. Tim Tszyu was on that same thing. And now where's Tim Tszyu? Just like Jerome in his boots. We'll see what happens in the future with Tim Tszyu. Maybe he'll fight Boots. I don't know. They got a lot of fighters. They need to get their fighters active. Yeah, he's ducky. But listen, that's not the point. The point is, you know, how can we make be a thorn in, Terrence Crawford's boot? You know what I'm saying? That's all this is really about. And like I said, in the video I came out yesterday, you dudes are celebrating. What are you celebrating today? Spence has got the opportunity that's unearned, but that's just the world we live in today. That's how it is today. How it is today, man. It's not about merit anymore. It's just clown show, reality TV type nonsense today. Of course, he's getting rewarded though, because like I said, he's being a good old boy now. And Al Heyman and them, they're just patting him on his head. Thank you for ducking out of that rematch. It was going to cost too much money. And Spence, he's such a, these dudes, they're willing to do these type of moves, and it just shows you what type of characters they are. Him and his fans just going to act like July. I'm going to repost my highlight film, dude. Screw that. YouTube keeps blocking it, but I'll put it back up there. Nobody's going to forget July 29th. I'm sorry. No matter how hard you try to block it out of your head, I'll constantly, people and others like me will constantly be a reminder. It's a clown show. It's been a clown show. What's up, everybody? I literally was just going to do like a 10-minute video and let it, post talking about this nonsense. But I'm glad you guys stopped by. Welcome to my show. I don't have a studio yet or any of that crap, so no sound effects. Yeah, it's pretty sad and it's hurting the sport of boxing. We've talked about this before. You got guys, that got good potential like Stanionis. You got all these fighters under your stable, and you're still focused on guys like Keith Thurman. You're still putting your eggs in the baskets and the Errol Spences. You know what I'm saying? Broner has a fight, right? Who's he going to fight? I thought I saw something. Broner was going to get an opportunity to fight someone. I can't remember. I don't pay attention to boxing like I used to. Welcome to the channel, Shimon. But they put their eggs in the same basket. Blair Cobbs, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same type of clown fight, like a Romero type fight. You know what I'm saying? He's got personality, but ultimately people tune in to the show because guys like Rolly and sadly Broner. I used to like Broner. A lot of people don't know he was actually a very smart dude. And you can just see how he's been ruined being in this type of system. A lot of people don't know that about Broner. But he was trying to go to college and things like that, but he decided to turn clown. And that's why people tune into the show. But Blair Klobbs, he's a fighter. He's got to make money. I don't know if he has a family, feed your kids, do what you got to do. But still, you're still putting your same eggs in the same baskets. You're not giving these other guys standing on a chance. You're not giving these other fighters that you have. You know, they're very specific and they just keep with the same process. And again, as I was saying, these dudes, they're cheerleading this cowardly backstabbing type behavior, this effeminate behavior that's quite prevalent today. And it's being glorified and everything today. When you're a good boy, we'll give you some opportunities. And that's all this is, Spence. He's getting a pat on his head. You're finally listening to us. You're finally doing what we want you to. So we'll go ahead and put you back into their little funnel or whatever. But it's pretty sad. Crawford, again, he's been used to this. They're like somebody said earlier, they're trying to make people forget this stuff. What up, D-Lo? I enjoy your channel, bro, because you're another dude that just tells the truth. You don't try to push no narrative or nothing like that. So good to see you on the show. But yeah, I was gonna make this one short, man. If you guys want to stay on, you got topics you want to talk about, we can talk about it. But you guys see it; it don't even need to be explained to you dudes. Um, this is what's rewarded in today's society. That's just how it is, man. Uh, it's no different in the sport of boxing. It's not based off merit. Yeah, man, welcome. But you know, I could get deep about this. Uh, there are going to be some changes to this type of stuff. So in the future, they're starting to notice that this stuff doesn't make money anymore. What they're doing, it's kind of a widespread process that affects all kinds of platforms, movie industry, music industry, everything else. Uh, there's going to be a little revamp here in the next year or so. But we were just talking about this in the last video, you know, and the Spence fans, PBC fans, they're all praising this stuff. They're just happy that, Bud is getting crapped on again. And, You know, they needed this little victory. They needed this little moral victory to revive. Like I said, they're the Walking Dead, man. Just walking corpses. You could, but you probably can't say much that isn't redundant because it's always a redundant. Yep. And I literally say that every video I come back to. You're beating a dead horse practically every time. And it's not necessarily the PBC. We see this with other platforms. They're not making money either. They're not having the success. They're all on a lifeline right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's not growing the sport. It's not doing nothing even for the people that are employing this stuff. Yeah, but we could always see this type of behavior from Spence, and we see this behavior quite prevalent from guys like Thurman. They always try to backstab each other and play games with each other. You know, it took a while for Porter to get the fight with Keith Thurman. You know, they were chasing him for a minute. And then we saw this process with Spence because he claimed he was chasing Danny Garcia and these guys, and they wouldn't give him a chance. It is. It's not just boxing, it's everywhere. It's government. It's, dude, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, bro. I mean, I'm not going to get spiritual right now, but uh, it's definitely a reprobate type mindset, I think. You know what I'm saying? These people, they're doing things that just doesn't make sense. Even practical sense, if your goal is to make money, it just doesn't make sense. You know, you have a target audience. Porter tried to get several rematches. Yep, couldn't. But you saw what happened when he was in that position with Ugas, because a lot of people felt that Ugas fought, and then he pulled the same move. You know what I'm saying? People could say that he was justified for doing that, but you're now the pot. Calling the whatever kettle black. You know what I'm saying? You pulled the same move. It's just a trend, and it affects everything. It's all symbiotic, and they all do the same thing. And you're starting to see that a lot of people are associated with the same groups. You know what I'm saying? We're now finding out Puff Daddy was associated with Epstein. So is that surprising or shocking? Well, when you're doing that type of act, you know, it's going to be a very selective group there. You know, that's all I can really say about that right now. But you see these types of business practices and these standards everywhere. Employers, you know, they're more of a threat to get a lawsuit, you know, than a bad employee that's not able to do their job. That employee can sue them in today's world. You know what I'm saying? So you have to accept, and it's the same like in schools, for example. A lot of these parents, they complain and they make it such a dramified thing when their student's not doing well and not can't even do their work and things like that. They have to blame the school, things like that. Yep, same old stuff, man. None of it's new. None of it's new. But you know, Crawford, he should be used to this by now. So I don't know what he plans on doing. What's funny though is he's still been in the gym. He's still been taking care of business as far as that. We all saw what Spence looked like tonight. He looks like a balloon. You know what I'm saying? He's probably about 190, 200 in my estimation. He was a little pudgy there around his neck, face, and all that type of stuff. He was wearing a jacket and everything. He looked puffed up. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of getting into that matchup though. I think Fundora or whatever. Uh, we saw tonight that he's actually trying to implement more of his outside boxing style, but I always thought that him and Spence kind of had similar styles. Yeah, yeah, I he's been a little bit toned down these past years. I know he would like get more into his anger and things like that back in the day, you know, but he's tried to take the high road like a lot of times now, you know what I'm saying? But they're both volume punchers, and as I was saying when I first started this, because I figured I was only make like a 10-minute video or something real quick, but I think Fundora is a little bit more accurate, and his punches are actually more impactful. He actually damages his opponents more. The only thing that I can see deterring this fight is if I swear, call me a conspiracy theorist. I know I come out with this crazy content now and everything else, but it seems like these fighters be having silent agreements, and you know, I thought the Mickey Garcia versus Spence fight, kind of alludes to that. How did you not knock down Mickey Garcia? How did you not get him out of there? And he even said in the post fight, he tried to knock him out a few times. But if Fundor is allowed to fight, I think he has a good chance of beating Spence. I would probably put my money on Fundor, to be honest with you guys. That's if he's there not to lay down. You know what I'm saying? Um, if it is a scripted fight and they want to still hype up Spence, again, these guys, they don't seem to not care about turning towards the theatrical and things like that. But I think he's a far more, like I said, his punches are a lot more impactful. He does a lot of damage to people that he fights. I don't see that with Spence. We saw that his fights, he stopped getting knockouts and things like that. The Ugas fight, he did put some damage on Ugas, but that was another guy that some people feel, he maybe laid down in that fight, especially when he had Spence hurt and he let off the gas. So, and plus the ref jumped in too, at certain points. So, but other than that, Spence wasn't getting knockdowns or knockouts for like the longest time. You know, he was in a drought there. And I just think Fundora, he has more hurt to his punches. They're more impactful and things like that. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. But if Fundora is not there to lay down or anything, I think he has a good chance of beating Spence. Now, a lot of people, they may be thinking just like a Devin Haney, who we saw finally moved up the weight class, his constitution, everything else got better. Plus, his power got a little bit better as well. They think that sort of. Oh, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. But they think that that same type of situation may help Errol Spence. But you guys got to remember that guys like Spence, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter, those guys, they all moved down in weight, and I think that was for a strategic reason. I think those guys, they kind of understood that they couldn't fight at those higher weights, and that's why they actually moved down in weight. So again, I think they kept Spence at 147 because they probably felt that was the best spot where he could actually, do his thing. If he was fighting guys his size and things like that, I think that would have been a different matter. What's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah, I had a little bit of time, to kill, and plus I wanted to talk some crap about what, this backstabbing and feminine behavior that we're seeing once again from PBC, and what, we were just talking about this yesterday, with that video I came out with, and you know, I didn't, bro, I didn't. I just caught the highlights. I didn't even care to watch it. Plus, I got off pretty late. I got off like around 7, and then I ate and just chilled, relaxed, and then I barely just, got home right now. So no, I just caught the highlights, man. Did you stream it, or did you actually? Was it Carmel? He was on the undercard, right? We'll see what they do. I know that the WBO and PBC, they don't have that good of a relationship, and I think maybe it's due because they don't want to pay sanctioning fees or something. You know, they have to do what they can with the money they got today. Trust me. He was on the undercard, right? I'm gonna have to check that out. I'll watch him. That's a new up and coming fighter, so I'll give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? But once I start seeing the same type of behaviors, that he may not be on priority, but I will give him a chance because he's a young up and coming fighter, heart still pure, and those type of things. So hopefully he doesn't let the business and all that stuff kind of corrupt him. Nah, but I didn't get it. I didn't watch it though. It was pay per view, and I didn't even feel like streaming it. They probably will make him drop the belt if Crawford does try to start some, you know, he actually enacts the mandatory whatever with the super WBO rules that they have. Well, Rolly, he's not even a boxer. He's a guy that, you know, I don't even know how to explain him. He doesn't look like he even knows how to box. If To me, he might as well be a YouTuber, man. He would be a good influencer, I think. You know what I'm saying? Just like Jake Paul, you can use him for that type of stuff, but I don't think he's a boxer. I think he goes out there and he just tries to run his mouth, and like I said, it's more of a clown show. You're there to watch the clown show when you're watching guys like a Broner or a Romero Rolly. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for a personality. You're not really there to look at skills. You're there just to see what happens to the clown. Is that what he was doing tonight? That's crazy. No. Well, we've been seeing him get knocked out in sparring, getting hurt in sparring and also getting knocked out in fights. At this point in time, I don't know what he can do with moving forward. Like I said, he might be a good YouTuber, man. Maybe he can fight on some Jake Paul undercards or something, but fight like other YouTubers because I don't think he's ready for the professional game. Pitbull is an intense dude. Yeah, that's all he is, man. He's not a boxer, bro. That's Jake Paul out there. You know what I'm saying? And Jake Paul might even be better and more dedicated than Rolling, man. Sad to say. But Pitbull, when he fights a guy, like if he were to fight like a Devin Haney or someone like that, you would see just all his holes and that type of stuff get exposed. But he's got a lot of heart, little engine that could. He's out there to always throw down. So people, they always love that type of stuff, especially when it's a small little dude. But when he fights real dudes with skill, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to be that much of a factor. Yeah, I would. I didn't even care to stream it, bro. I watched highlights. You know what I'm saying? I watched highlights. But there's no way I would pay money for this undercard tonight. There's no way possible. You know? Was Amazon, did they even have a presentation? Were they even associated with this event tonight? Like, do they have a commentary crew and all that? Who are we talking about? Pitbull? Or Shakur? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You even got dudes like Lomachenko not trying to step in with Shakur. And again, they always get to use the he's boring and all that type of stuff, but they know when they get in that ring, dude, they know they're going to win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard. After the cut, he kind of gave up, and that could have a demoralizing effect. But what's funny, too, he didn't have a rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? You see how PBC sets their fighters up? And I saw the post fight. He didn't seem like he even wanted to smoke, even off a split decision. You just lost your belt. So, I mean, same PBC crew called the fight. Was it just PBC? Did they even have Amazon's name posted on anything? But I believe Sue would have won if he didn't get the cut. It wouldn't surprise me if that were the case because I saw the press conference and I didn't really see anything with Amazon being associated. The press conference looked all janky, so I was like, "What is this?" You know what I'm saying? I lost. Oh yeah. So Zoo, he seemed like he didn't even want a rematch. And again, you didn't even have that in your clause or anything. Should you lose? You know what I'm saying? It looked like he kind of accepted his defeat, and he's not even trying to get back in the ring with old boy. So I find that kind of weird. But you see how that basically shows you Al's just there to, use these fighters to do what he wants, and not really what's best for the fighters. But I could see that being a ploy, just using their name to try to hype up your little next con job, which is all it is. It's a little traveling grift. So channels are streaming the fight and pop up. That's funny. I didn't even care to watch it, man. I saw Counterpunch and everybody they were, you know, doing the whatever commentary, but again, I didn't even care, bro. I got off of work late tonight. I was like, I'm good. I ate. I mean, Bud should be used to this right now. Literally talked about this. He doesn't fit the mold of what these people want. You have to be part of the show, and you have to be willing to do what these people want you to do in their little televised series. You know what I'm saying? Um, People they don't remember the how PBC started. It literally called itself a televised series, and you got a bunch of these animated characters. Rolly, that's a guy that fits in the PBC system. Terrence Crawford is not a Rolly. He's not a Broner. He's not a Keith Thurman. You know, those guys, they know how to talk in front of the camera. You have the suburb boy trying to act like he's a gangster Spence. You know, Sean Porter's the nice guy, you know, but Danny Garcia is even out here talking about mental illness. And, you know, you got to add some kind of theatricality and whatever else that they want you to be in that system. And Crawford, he's just not going to, you know, he just doesn't check the boxes there. He doesn't. He's there to win and try to build greatness. You have guys that duck out of many Pacquiao fights. You have guys that don't care about sitting out of the sport for year after year. You know what happened to Sprint? Exactly, exactly. You tell me what happened to his eye injury. He said he was good before the fight. He said that he was going to beat Crawford like Kunta Kinte. You tell me, man. You tell me. People forget these things, or they try to intentionally forget it. You know, I think they're going through trauma, but you know, it's hard to deal with trauma, especially when you see your hero get beat the way he did. Hey, what's up, Juice Lee? There are a lot of devious machinations take, but as a fighter, that doesn't fit. Yep, precisely, precisely. A lot of devious machinations taking place all over. PBC is just one of them. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be on here for too long. You know what I'm saying? I was literally just going to talk some crap real quick and get on off, but you know, I don't even know what else to talk about when it comes to sport of boxing. I'm not really interested in Munguia and Canelo, and especially with Munguia, he's already pulling that "I'm happy to be here" type nonsense. You know, thank you for giving me this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no rivalry, there's no nothing there. You know, man, this freaking thing. Oh. And like Broner, Blair Cobbs again, is that a fight really worth talking about? Like, it's got some appeal to it again if you're into personalities and animated characters. But as far as boxing, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to be on that undercard? You know, who are they going to try to, what's going on there? Bud sitting out of the sport. Spence fans busy. Yeah, they're cowards. They're cowards. They're trying to push Benavidez on Crawford too, which I thought was pathetic. Why don't you move up to 168 and fight Benavidez? Like, dude, this has been the name of the game. Go fight Amir Khan. Go fight this guy. Go fight Kell Brook. Go fight Sean Porter. And what do they all say at the end of the day? What do they all say? But we were talking about this yesterday. I haven't even been trying to pay attention to boxing and talk about it. And again, you always come back to the same topics, the same behavior, same situation. It's just a beating a dead horse, as I always say. Yeah, Floyd, dude, I met Floyd in Vegas. I think I told this story. He was a cool dude. Um, he was very approachable. He actually came to me and shook my hand. And but Leonard Ellerby was there, and you could tell he's just like you know, sometimes when you like see your homie or something out and they're like with their girl, and you can tell the girl just doesn't like you being there. You know what I'm saying? And they want to move on. That's how Leonard Ellerby was when I met Floyd back in the day, dude. And but Floyd's now becoming this weirdo character, you know, where he obviously doesn't want to see anyone else shine. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Ellerby, yes, guys. I can only imagine what goes down with Ellerby, bro. But I don't even want to think about it actually. But I know there's some. I know there's something probably not normal going on there. But Floyd is just turning into this villain. You know what I'm saying? And he's hating on everybody. You know, it's not just like he doesn't even really try to help his fighters. It seems like he's in competition even with his own fighters. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis, when him and his crew were getting mad at Floyd because Floyd actually wanted him to fight Lomachenko, and they were saying that Floyd was trying to set him up. But I think Floyd is just at the point now. He's just senile, and again, maybe there's some jealousy, some envy, or something like there at play as well. But he's doing some weird things, man. Ellerby, man, that dude, he would be perfect for Hollywood. I'll say that much. He'd be perfect at them Puff Daddy parties, man. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. He's probably been to a few of those. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. That's the guy that will sue you for some nonsense. But, you know, Ellerby, I can tell you, man, you could feel that, you know, that female energy, man. When I met Floyd, he did, and he looks pretty bad. Um, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 6'3". You know what I'm saying? I'm about, 230. You know what I'm saying? Spence looked like you about 190, 195 maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know what that dude plans on doing. Maybe he'll pull out like Thurman. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But he's obviously not dedicated. But we've seen this from him before. He looks like he probably still drinks, probably still does whatever else. You know, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. It's a different world today. Yeah, he looked pretty pudgy, man. He was pretty rounded. You know what I'm saying? Face was all full. So same old Spence. As far as Bud, I don't know what he's gonna do. He may have to look for basically. I don't even know who he could fight at this point. He's obviously been getting bigger. I saw this thing too where he's to overcome an 80-inch. Yeah, but see, PBC they move funny over there, so they might have Fundora just lay down. You know what I'm saying? If Fundora is really out there to fight, I think he has a very good chance versus Spence. And Spence, he's the type of guy, he feels comfortable even when he's getting beat up to close the gap. He tries to fight from the outside. I've gone over this so many times in film studies and things like that, but he's kind of like a Josh Taylor. They try to start the fight from the outside, but once they start getting clipped, they both kind of panic, and then they got to make it a rough, kind of close fight. You know what I'm saying? Get on the inside, hold, punch while you're holding, that type of tactics and things like that. You know, against a Fundora, I see that being a big problem because Fundora is a more impactful puncher than Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? You want to do that inside fight work game stuff against a Fundora. We see what he does. He damages opponents. I don't. The last opponent that I saw Spence damage was Ugas, and Ugas was literally sitting there and letting him beat him up. You know what I'm saying? But Sean Porter busted up Spence's face. Danny Garcia buckled, hurt Spence. A couple times. Um, Ugas again, a guy who has like what 10 knockouts, was able to hurt Spence. Get him to spit out his mouthpiece. So I don't know if that's a fight if they unless they're sacrificing Spencer. Like I said, they're going to tell Fundora to lay down, so that they can rebuild Spence's little fan club. Yeah, that's what I said, man. I mean, he's inactive, but he's always in that gym. Uh, that's what I was gonna say. Did he bench press like 455 or something? I thought I saw a video like he was able to freestand it, 455 pounds bench. So Bud, I mean, that's just freakish stuff. And I've seen Bud do some other crazy stuff. He can do backflips and things too. So Spence was your favorite fighter until when I saw what happened between them when they finally met face to face. That's when it was verified for me. I called it right then. You're no different from Keith Thurman, that type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's what they like to do, man. That's what they like to do. Those are the type of matchups that they like to hype up and build and waste money on making. It worked out for him at that time because, again, Mickey Garcia, you had people that really believed in him and things like that. But, you know, what's up? What's going on? I was just talking crap, man. Everybody knows what's going on. See, that's cool and all, but I just don't understand. Well, it just doesn't make sense to me. Tim Tszyu, in the post-fight interview, he just seemed like he didn't even want the rematch, even though it was a split decision. So it sounds like I'm willing to do whatever Al wants me to do as well. I'd like to see that fight. You know, I think it'd be a fun fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have a rematch clause. So on top of like not even wanting to fight the dude, although it was a split decision, they didn't even implement a rematch clause for him. So that shows, that you're not really looking out for your fighters. I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to force a Spence fight. I think Ellerby was saying he has the fight, so we'll just see. But again, yeah, I mean, they already had it planned out with what was going to happen because Spence obviously knew beforehand, just like he's always known beforehand, that he was going to get this shot. So, like I said, the Spence fans, they're celebrating and in Jubilee tonight. Bud, he's got another thorn in his beard. They got their little moral victory, and like I said, they're the Walking Dead, bro. You can't keep them down for too long. Well, that depends if Bud wants to enact that rule with the Super WBO, position where they get to, try to, make themselves a mandatory or give themselves a title shot. Didn't they say that he'll get to keep his belt at the 147 though if he does do that? Yeah, I mean, I'm not too excited about it. And like I said, tonight's fight, I didn't watch. I just watched highlights. I didn't need to watch tonight's fight, especially when they're trying to charge it for a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? But no, I won't be buying Spence versus Fundora. And like I said, we'll see if I'm not busy, if I even stream that. You know what I'm saying? But he liked to fight Bud. Doesn't sound like he wants to vacate. He's a champion, and they're not even trying to treat him like a champion. You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean with the make believe and everything. This man just is now a champion. And if they want him to drop the title that he just got, I mean that's pretty crappy just because you want to set Spence back up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Tim Tszyu, again, he didn't even have a rematch. Like, they're not looking out for their fighters. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like Sebastian, he just wants to prove himself and things like that. You know, I think that's cool. Is where is Boots? I haven't heard Boots speak. I hear his fans speak. Well, they're not even his fans. I hear the typical group talking about Boots. But last I heard, they were going to fight on the Canelo undercard. You know, I haven't heard much from Boots and them. I hope he does, but if they pull their card and PBC man, if they pressure him to do what they want, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he does go the Spence route, even if at the cost of just dropping the belt that he just earned. That's how crazy these dudes are today. But it's sad that he's a young kid and he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? He's won a belt. So I mean, if they would have him drop it, that's crazy to me. They don't even look at it from that standpoint. It's crazy. Hmm. It's the same old nonsense. Like I said, fight Benavidez at 168. You know, Bud's back in purgatory again with his buddy Shakur. I believe it too. I don't think Boots is who people think he is, and I don't do this fan club crap. I really don't. I look at the matchups, I look at the tendencies, and I look at the patterns. Boots has a lot of holes. The same things that they were saying about Bud. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets hit too much and that type of stuff. It's just athleticism. He doesn't have Bud's IQ. The only thing that makes it risky is he's still young. And when you're young, you think you're invulnerable and you do a lot of dumb stuff. And he does have gifts. You know what I'm saying? He's a gifted fighter. You know, the same thing that they try to say about Terrence Crawford, but I mean, you watch the George Sosa fights and you watch other fights, even against Chudinov. He's still getting caught by the same punches. You know what I'm saying? And Chudinov even hurt him. If I were to do a film study, I could show you guys this stuff. Like, I don't have to sit here and cap and be called a hater. I'll do it just like I did the other film studies. I show you the weaknesses. I show you what these dudes do that is wrong, and then I give you my prediction. But he gets hit with the same punch, even against a squared up fighter like a Sosa. You know, he gets hit with the same sequence. He takes a lot of punches, and I don't know if he's ready. If George Sosa had you slumped over and you looked like, you're on a cross with both your arms out, on the ropes, you know what I'm saying? Bud, there's another thing about Bud, too. He is a competitor. He's like a Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? If you do hurt him, if you do hit him, you're just going to make him mad, and then you're going to have to deal with that psychotic version of Bud. So I don't think he's ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And to tell you the truth, the way they were moving, I don't think they ever wanted the Bud fight. I think they're just using his name for the most part. But I would like to see the fight. Yeah, he's athletic, but his IQ ain't there. I've talked about this in multiple videos. He does that same crap that Canelo does when they act like they're dodging punches while they're still getting hit. They think just turning your head is defense. I've seen him get clipped plenty of times, even against Lipinets, man. And I'm trying to tell you, squared up fighters, they can land just a simple 1-2. The dude, everything they say about Bud actually applies more to Duran in his boots. You know what I'm saying? They said Bud's just athletic. You know, uh, he's like Roy Jones. That crap applies more to a Duran in his boots than it does a Terrence Bud Crawford. And they move Boots the way he does for a reason. Matchmaking tells you everything about the truth about that fighter. They're still moving you in baby steps, man. And they're trying to gas you up, you know. They want you to believe that you can beat Bud, but I don't think they do. Dude, if I did these film studies again, you know, I'm trying to tell you, I'm not here trying to tap on this internet, man. Really not. I can show you a clip where Chudinov buzzed him, and I've seen him. He plays poker. He puts on a poker face, but I can tell when fighters get hurt from punches, man. Chudinov had him hurt and buzzed. He played it off well. No, they can't. That's part of the reason why they went through the theatrics of having Spence, who enacted his rematch. You know what I'm saying? Uh, duck out of the rematch. The money was one of the biggest problems. It's a con, dude. It's a grid. The PBC is nothing but a traveling grid. Yeah, he was done after that cut. Did you put money on the fight? I hope you didn't put money on the fight. That he don't do lines. What is he talking about? Is he talking about a certain drug or he's just saying he can cut? That dude's a bum, man. I really don't like people like that. I don't like fake people, man. I don't like fake people. That drives me crazy, dude. And Spence, he's fake. He's a fake little dude. Once I realized who he truly was, that's when I stopped messing with Spence. That he doesn't have to wait in lines. Yeah, I'm thinking some other things because of his lifestyle, but he might do some lines. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. No, like I said, this is what I was gonna literally just come out with a 10-minute video. He got pat on his head for finally doing what Al Heyman and them want him to do. We'll give you this shot, duck out of the rematch. It's the same effeminate type behavior that I've been talking about when it comes to these dudes. Yeah, I know Bud's mad. He's back in the same position, and they're doing the same type of crap to him. Opinions on Biden declaring they're trying to do it for a reaction and get everybody all riled up, and also to pander to these idiots that believe in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But people on the right, they're going ape crap. I'm trying not to curse anymore when I do these videos, but it's to get a reaction from people, get people all riled up. It's pathetic at this point. People shouldn't even pay attention to it. And it's kind of like when we talk this boxing. Boxing, when they try to say that certain guys are stars, you have a loud crew on the internet, but they don't represent the actual numbers. The that community is very small. Now we see it being blasted everywhere when we watch movies and news and it, but it's still a small community. You understand? There are other reasons behind why they're pushing that stuff, but they just want a reaction out of people, and I'm not even going to react to that nonsense. We all know it's stupid, and again, it's to me, I see it as trolling. It's idiotic. Like why? And why on that day? Again, just to get a dumb reaction. And I don't even know if Biden is like a coherent man. I'm just gonna say that. It's just been released that Hillary calls the White House like every day, and so does basically Obama. I don't think he's the one that runs the country, and I think he's just a puppet out there, literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Um, the man, he just does not seem coherent to me. I think he's easily being influenced and like just being used. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he even knows what the hell's going on half the time. So front, he's complete. That's definitely for sure. You know, I like guys that are also students of the game, and Bud is a student of the game, complete fighter. You know, those are guys are kind of rare, but those same type of guys, they're always dealt with like this. You know what I'm saying? The way Bud's being dealt with. Marvin Hagler had the same issues. It took him a while before he finally started getting money fights and things like that. Sweet Pea, same thing. He didn't start getting fights till he was old in his career and when he couldn't move as much and stuff anymore. And this has been the same story in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, anytime, man. You got any topics? I do not care, bro. Whatever topic you guys want to talk about. But I do think it's always to get a reaction. That's just how these idiots work. And they want to drum up controversy, and it's just stupid. Like, it to me, what's the point of it? You know, what's the point of it? You know, to watch people get on here and start yelling and whatever. We know what's going on. We don't have to fall for these tricks anymore, man. What else is going on, people? Because, like I said, there ain't much to talk about boxing. What am I going to talk about? Broder and Blair Cobbs? You know, what other fights are going on? You know, these aren't real fights anymore. Yeah, Bud, he's just a throwback dude. So the game's changing, and Bud, he's kind of like what I don't know if you guys read John Henry. You know, I don't know if they still teach that in schools today, but John Henry kind of is that motif where, you know, back in the day, they built machines, you know, that could do a lot faster work than what John Henry was equipped to do. And he was able to beat the machine, but that still means he, you know, they still went with the machine at the end of the day. And that's Bud. He's out of his era. You know what I'm saying? He was born in '87, you know, but he still was a part of that old school type mindset and things like that. He doesn't fit the mold of today, what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. So he's just the odd man standing out. But it's been about 52 minutes, like I said. Intentionally, I just want to make this like a 10-minute video where I'm talking crap about the. Yeah, I mean, man, it'd be great. I'd like to see a lot of guys fight. There's too many boxers that are inactive right now, and it's sad. It's sad to see, and I'm always having to watch the same people. You know, um, Bud's basically not even in a position where he has a fight, which is sad. Typically, he was able to get at least one fight a year, but you know, we'll just see what happens, man. He's getting old now too. He's like 30. Is he 35 or 36 now? He's still working hard and everything else, man. Like I said, guys like Rolly, uh, I stated this earlier, he would be a better influencer, you know what I'm saying, a YouTuber. And even if he were on Jake Paul, like undercard or something, where he fights other YouTubers, because I don't see what he's going to do moving forward. We've seen him getting knocked out in sparring. We've seen him getting, you know, knocked out, you know, as a professional. I think it's over for him. I think it would be around the same type of level that Bud's been selling at. You know, it's not going to be a big sell. It's going to be around 100 pay-per-view buys. You know what I'm saying? But the reason, partly the reason why they want to make that fight with Boots, because it's more easier because of the money. You don't have to pay Boots nothing. You know, it's a more makeable fight. But if you're implementing an Earl Spence, then you got to pay both guys, and that's just not feasible. You know what I'm saying? These guys today, they should get paid like the Floyd Mayweathers and Canelos and everybody else, but that's just not the reality of it today. The sport of boxing, it just does not garner that much interest. You know what I'm saying? Um, this year, NFL, for example, the Super Bowl did break records as far as viewership, but the past few years, even sports like basketball and football were being affected when it came to viewership, especially when it's a election year. Things like that, that hurts their viewership as well. But again, they had the Taylor Swift with the Super Bowl, you know, and her fan group kind of helped out with that. But the trending these past years, even the big sports were being affected, you know. It's just what people weren't paying attention to anymore. And even like the NBA All Star game was crap this year. Declined Bud for Thurman, boxing karma. Yeah, I know. It's stupid, man. You did that same drawn in his boot stuff, and you didn't even have a rematch in your contract. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely he played himself. It's just that simple, you know. But boxing, it just I've said this many times. Oscar De La Hoya on a premium cable channel fighting Steve Forbes at 154-pound catchweight at StubHub and what's it called, California. That got 6 million viewership, and these guys they can't do that even on network television today. You know what I'm saying? So it's just boxing's more exclusive now, and it continues to hurt itself by making itself more exclusive. Like tonight's fight, I think it would have been a lot better if you put it on TV. That was the whole thing that you were promising boxing when you first came out. Boxing is back on network television, but they've now went specifically to this pay-per-view model. You know what I'm saying? And it's just hurting the sport even further. You're not getting exposure. You know what I'm saying? You're you're putting a curtain around yourself, and people, you know, they don't even know that these fights exist, man. For the most part, Virgil declined blood twice. Virgil Ortiz, yeah, no. Well, I mean, Bud, dude, you know what I'm saying? It's Bud. It's Bud at the end of the day. This isn't Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Errol Spence. Even drawn in his boots. These people, they never explain this, but he's never seemed like he's really wanted to fight Bud either. He actually called out Errol Spence after that one fight, you know, and Spence was right there, and he said, you might get what you asked for, or something. I forgot what he said, but his attention was more on Spence than it was Bud, and I keep seeing the same wishy-washy type of behavior whenever it's Bud. You know you're dealing with the real deal when you're dealing with Bud. And do you want to ruin your young fighter? Even with Tim Tszyu, we kind of saw him backpedal a little bit. And Virgil Ortiz, I like Virgil Ortiz, man. He's got a very style that a lot of people underestimate, man. Um, Once he sets his rhythm, because he has a devastating jab, but when he gets into his rhythm, he can start masking his punches. He'll lean in and you think he's coming with the jab, and he'll mask it with like a straight right or something. You know what I'm saying? But he has shot selection as well. So he can do a right hook to the body, or I can throw the straight right when you think I'm doing that same motion and coming with the jab. And when he gets it right, dude, it's actually fun to watch, man. It is. But I don't know. I think it has to do with like he likes to eat Whataburger, and his he might have to clean up some of his habits, and I think that's why he is getting injuries and all this other stuff happening to him. Plus, he's a big kid, man. That dude's huge. He's a big kid, dude. So I know the weight cuts are probably killing him too. But if you're not doing the correct nutrition and things as you're trying to move down to 147, I'm sure that hurt him too. That's good. And I mean, the kid just won a belt. He's a champion. You know what I'm saying? And they want him to drop it for Spence. You know what I'm saying? And got to bring this up again. It's weird that Tim Tszyu didn't have a rematch clause or anything. Like, to me, that's weird. That shows me they definitely don't care about their fighters and what they want. It's more so what Al Heyman wants, man. And it's pretty sad. But it seems like he wants Bud, and I think that's cool. As opposed to damaged goods cloned Tyrone Errol Spence. You know, these people, they don't forgot their excuses. His girlfriend drugged him, and now you're here tonight cheerleading because he's going to get the Fundora fight over Bud. So I guess he's back, and these fans are back too, dude, which doesn't make sense to me. You know, they don't forgot their own excuses. Oh, oh, I gotta stand up. But like again, you have all these fighters that you could be utilizing right now, and they're still putting the same eggs in the same baskets, man. And it's quite sad. Like Blair Cobbs and Broner, you know, you got guys like Stanionis and all these other fighters, man, that you guys could be utilizing. You're not doing it, you know. I think I heard something that they were even trying to bring Robert Guerrero back at one point. I'm just like, dude, why, man? Like, who are you gonna have him fight? You know, Broner, the winner of Broner, Blair Cobbs. Well, guys, it's been about 61 minutes. You got anything else you want to talk about? Let me know. If not, I'm gonna be getting off here pretty soon. It's crazy when you get on live, the time just kind of flies by. Well, I guess I'll have some more videos coming out shortly, dealing with other topics, politics, other crap, religion. Um, I only plan on being on for 10 minutes to talk crap about Spence and just what he pulled tonight. But I appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you for the likes and everything else. We'll talk to you guys later, man. You guys have a good night. I'm sure there's, far more better channels talking about this stuff tonight. But see you guys later, man.